Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your connection to the person that you are dealing with and needing to learn the most from right now. We are looking at all three sides of this connection. We've got your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story. So looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, this higher level unbiased truth in the middle, really looking at what is the purpose of this connection and what is the best way for you to move forward and ultimately align with your higher self. As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the overall energy for the reading and clarified those messages, which we'll jump into in just a second. But I do have a different tarot deck for each side of this connection, as well as the advice deck that I'll be using in the extended. If you watched my last round of videos, not my love readings, but my general readings, then you saw that I did an overall theme for a reading, that because I had just gotten a new deck and I wanted to get to know it. Well, this isn't that deck, but I actually really liked what that added to the reading. So I'm going to add an overall theme for this week as well, which we'll get into in just a second. Please remember that these are general readings. They will not resonate fully for everyone. So do remember to take what resonates and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. On that note, these energies can absolutely be swapped. So if you resonate more with the energy to my right than to my left, just know that's totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point is to take what resonates and leave what does not. Last thing, any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. All right, Capricorn. Your side of this connection, you have ignoring the pain with the Nine of Pentacles. You really, really, really want this connection to work. So much so that I feel like you are ignoring how it's making you feel out of hopes that it either stops making you feel that way or eventually makes you feel the way that you're ultimately wanting. Basically, what I feel like this message is saying is that there's a part of you that's ignoring how deeply this connection is affecting you because you do want it to work so bad. So we'll see what tarot has to say when we dive into that. Now, this person, they have commitment with the Ten of Cups. So this is an interesting message to me because I feel like they see kind of this Ten of Cups potential in this connection. They see, what this connection could be, but with the commitment card, I feel like they struggle with this. I feel like they struggle with the commitment, especially when something promises like this long-term kind of energy. I feel like immediately what happens is they do something to like mess it up, because I feel like it's not necessarily that they don't want commitment, because I feel like they want this Ten of Cups, but I feel like they either don't know how or are afraid to commit to something that has kind of that long-term potential here. Now, the overall energy for the reading is protection. So in addition to the truth of this connection, you have karmic with the Six of Swords here. So there's some sort of karmic cycle that you are being protected from repeating, and specifically within this connection, or this connection is helping you close out a karmic cycle so that you don't repeat it in future connections. Either way, I feel like there's some sort of karmic aspect in this connection that needs to be moved away from before this connection can come together in like a healthy way. Don't know what that is yet. Again, this is overall energy. It's supposed to be pretty vague, and we will jump into it with tarot. So let's start, Capricorn, with your side of this connection. This is Capricorn's side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. This is Capricorn's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with, please. This is for Capricorn's side of this connection. Two of Swords in reverse. Ten of Pentacles in reverse, and then there's the Ten of Cups. Okay, so you see this potential too. I mean, we see the Ten of Cups on both sides of this connection. So it's interesting because I do feel like both people in this connection see that Ten of Cups potential. That Ten of Cups kind of being that long-term emotional fulfillment kind of potential. Now, one thing that I'm seeing on your side of this connection is with the Two of Swords in reverse, I feel as if you're not necessarily happy with the way things have been in this connection, But I also feel like there hasn't been, you haven't done anything about it. Now, maybe you feel like it's out of your control, right? Now, we've all been there. We've all been in situations. So I don't want that to come off as like me blaming you or me saying that you're doing anything wrong. What I'm getting at is that it's almost like you're in between, like, there's two ways this could go. You could continue with this connection, or you could end it, or like you could give this person a chance, or you could walk away. Like, there's two. And it just feels like you haven't really committed to either. Like, and that's why I feel like there's this, ignoring the pain aspect, because I do feel like maybe you're trying to keep it going, but like in the back of your mind you have this energy of like, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know if I can accept this anymore, because there is a part of you that's kind of ignoring how this connection is really making you feel, or has made you feel for so long. Capricorn side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Yeah, okay. There you are, is the Queen of Pentacles, whether you're male or female, and then the Knight of Cups in reverse with the Temperance in reverse. See, yeah, you're very frustrated with this right now, with this connection. And I feel like with the Queen of Pentacles coming out in reverse, it's like there's a lack of security that you feel in this connection. Like you don't feel, I mean, I feel like you don't feel committed to. Maybe you feel like this person is 1 foot in, 1 foot out, or you feel like they're not showing up for you in the ways that you deserve. But I feel like this has been a very triggering time and period in this connection for you. Now, it's interesting because I feel like that triggering aspect is stemming from their lack of commitment. But I feel like you're kind of ignoring how that's making you feel and trying to just like put blinders on and like keep going in this connection and like do what you feel you need to for this person, maybe even. But then like, it's like kind of feels like there's two versions of you right now. There's a version of you that really wants this to work, and there's the version of you that's really tired of how things have been. And I feel like, I mean, that's a really tough place to be, and I get it. But there's more, I feel like, going on here than you might think. All right, Capricorn side of this connection. Capricorn side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Capricorn side of this connection. You could be dealing with a fire sign. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, but you don't have to be, because I feel like what this is it doesn't necessarily need to be their sign. It's more like their actions. Like, it's like their actions keep like stabbing you in the back here. Like, their actions are what are hurting you. It could be their actions or lack thereof. And again, I feel like it goes back to them like not showing up in the way that you need or deserve, because this is them. This King of Wands is them, whether they're a fire sign or not. And so I feel like it's like it's like they're not showing up for you in the way that you deserve or the way that you desire, or they're doing certain things that are hurting you, even like, I don't know. I mean, and I feel like it all stems from this lack of commitment. So again, it could be action or lack thereof. But this is how you're feeling in this connection. Now, this Ten of Swords isn't always a negative thing. But I feel like specifically in this reading, it's just really showing kind of like the pain that you're feeling. Because I feel like it's like you're trying to make this work, you're trying to do what you can, you're trying to invest in this, and then like you just feel like this is what you're getting out of it. And this is what you're ignoring. At least the extent of it is what you're ignoring. This is Capricorn side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Capricorn side of the connection. One more. This is for Capricorn side of the connection. There you are again. There's the frustration. Queen of Pentacles in reverse, Temperance in reverse, and then you have the Ten of Wands in reverse. So here's why I feel like you're taking on their burden in some way, shape, or form. You're taking on maybe their emotional burdens from their past, or their lack of emotional like availability, or even like if they're dealing with like financial burdens or just going through like a not so great time in their life. But you're taking this on and you're trying to take on their healing as a burden for you. But what that's doing is leaving you out in the dust. Like, I feel like your needs and your priorities in this connection have become like almost non-existent. Like, I feel like this person is the one that takes up most of the space, at least when it comes to like what's needed. Now, I feel like you see this potential, so you're accepting that right now out of hopes that things eventually change. But what I feel like is actually happening is you're setting this precedent for the dynamic in the connection, and maybe you did a long time ago and this dynamic is still affecting things, where it's like, my needs don't matter, yours do. And I feel like that has become what's expected in this, is it's kind of become all about this person and what they need and what they desire and what they struggle with. And like, you're over here like, man, I really want this to work. But it's like, then they turn around and have this kind of energy towards you. This is Capricorn side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. This is Capricorn side of this connection. One more. Capricorn side of this connection, please. I feel like the biggest reason that you haven't done anything about this, like maybe you haven't walked away, maybe you have walked away and this is more like things in the past, but I feel like I'm speaking to a collective that hasn't changed or hasn't taken action to make changes in this connection. I don't have to be though. Either way, I feel like the reason that there hasn't been action in this with the Ace of Wands in reverse is because you're afraid of the loss. You're afraid of losing this connection. So maybe you're afraid of setting boundaries, or you're afraid of standing up for yourself, or you're afraid of asserting your needs because you feel like maybe this person will decide that it's too much. Maybe they will, not respect that and walk away instead. You have to be very careful when you get into that kind of energy, because again, what that starts to do is place this person on a pedestal, and you start to say, my needs don't matter, theirs do. And at the end of the day, your needs absolutely matter. But if they're never asserted in the connection, if you just try to ignore the way that you feel out of hopes that things get better, they're never going to change, because again, you're setting a precedent in this connection that this is what you're willing to accept. So whether this is, learning to set boundaries, or learning to speak up for yourself, or even walking away altogether, I'm not saying that that's what's necessary, but at the very least, letting yourself validate the pain that you feel in this connection. Understand that you're not wrong for feeling the way that you do. And that's, you trying to tell yourself, your higher self trying to tell you, spirit trying to tell you, the universe trying to tell you, you trying to tell you that something's got to give. Something's got to change. Something's got to evolve, whatever the answer might be. Capricorn side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. You're frustrated that things aren't moving forward in this connection, that they're not progressing, but that's because you're stuck in a cycle here. This is this karmic cycle I was talking about. The world and the temperance. We've seen this temperance in reverse a lot. Like, there, you are freaking frustrated, Capricorn. I get it. I get why with this energy. But then, like, you have to remember the only one who can break a cycle is you. So, I don't know. It's kind of this cycle of like, it could be like a cycle of betrayal. even. Either way, there's a lot going on here. All right, let's shift gears. Let's see what this person is dealing with. Commitment with the 10 of Cups. This person's energy toward Capricorn, please. This person's energy toward Capricorn. This person's energy toward Capricorn, please. I'm going to do one more. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. This person's energy toward Capricorn. That didn't feel right. There's a freaking 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups in reverse. No, these are upright. 3 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles in reverse, and then, okay, yeah, Knight of Cups in reverse. And there's the Knight of Swords. Okay. I think what's the most surprising about their energy is that they do want this to work, or at least at some point in this they did, or like they have an ultimate desire of having whatever it is that this connection provides them long term. But then I feel like on the flip side, they take it for granted. They take you for granted. They take this connection for granted. And I feel like that's where like this lack of commitment, because, you know, when you commit to a relationship of any variety, whether it's romantic, platonic, familial, you're not just committing to the connection. You're committing to the self-awareness and the growth and the learning and the ego checks that come with building and sustaining a connection. And I feel like this person has this idea of like what they want in a connection. But then I feel like they're not really committed to doing what it takes to make it work for both people involved. And so I feel like this is why you have this protection card, is I almost feel like the universe, especially if this connection's in separation, which I don't, it feels like it is, but it isn't. Like there's distance here between these two people, but like, I don't know, might still be like in a connection or like living together or something. I don't know. But it's almost like you're being protected from the karmic cycle in this connection that keeps putting you here. And this 10 of Swords kind of energy. Because they want it, they see that potential, but then they turn around and take it for granted. And then, of course, that's going to hurt you. It's going to make you feel not good enough or whatever the case may be. All right. This person's energy toward Capricorn. Commitment. The 10 of Cups. This person's energy toward Capricorn, please. This person's energy toward Capricorn. This person's energy toward Capricorn, please. There's the fire sign energy again with the Queen of Wands. Okay. This person has some healing to do. And I said ego check. And I literally feel like what this is saying is this person needs a bit of an ego death. Because I feel as if they're not, again, it's like they have this expectation of like, yes, I see the potential of this connection. I see what it can be. I want this with Capricorn. But then they're like, it's almost like unrealistic expectations of what a connection means, meaning they want you to do all the work and they don't really have to show up or face themselves or do any kind of healing. Maybe not to that extent, but that's kind of what it feels like. It's like they want this long term, but they want it to also be easy. You know, they don't want to do the hard stuff. And I feel like they need to wake up a little bit from that, because I don't feel like that's not fair to anybody in the connection, because they're not growing. You're taking on the burden. But I do feel like you both want the same thing here. But I feel like you're willing to do what it takes. And they're just like super not. You're willing to do what it takes almost to a fault. You're willing to ignore how this connection makes you feel, continue to show up for it anyway. And this person is like to a fault. I mean, it's the chaser runner in a way. But let's get more. This person's side of the connection to Capricorn. This person's energy toward Capricorn. There's the Ace of Wands in reverse. Neither person is taking action to change. They're not taking action. Okay, there's a lot of mirroring going on here. And I feel like it's in different ways. Like, you're not taking action to change how this connection's making you feel in a negative way, and this person's not taking action even though they see the potential. Because there is a complete lack of action from both people. Like, acceptance of things as is in this connection, but like then hoping that they'll change, which I guess is an acceptance. It's like just being like staying where things are at, but then both people are wanting things to change. But it also feels like this person and their lack of action, this feels like it's coming from ego. Which I guess yours would be too, because oftentimes our egos keep us stuck in karmic cycles. Because it's, although painful, they're predictable, they're familiar. So I don't know. There's a lot going on here. All right, I want to reshuffle these really quick, and then I want this person's energy toward Capricorn. This person's energy toward Capricorn, please. I mean, because you had the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. We saw them with the Knight of Cups in reverse. You have the Ace of Wands in reverse. So the energy is actually quite mirrored. I mean, you had the Ten of Cups over here. This person's energy toward Capricorn. Okay, so now they're showing up as the King of Cups. You could be dealing with a water sign, but I also feel like this is more than that. Four of Cups, because yeah, there's the King of Wands in reverse. Okay. So this person, it kind of feels like the way that I'm looking at this King of Cups is more at the imagery. And it's like, this is going to sound kind of mean towards this person, but then I'm going to elaborate. So if you're a cross watcher, bear with me. Like they're kind of sitting on this throne here as the King of Cups, like demanding in a way that their cup be filled. But then you're sitting here with all these empty cups, waiting for them to give you a drop. So it feels like they're demanding their cup can, constantly be filled, but then leaving you with like all of these empty cups. And I feel like that, when it comes down to it, is that feeling of where that feeling of being taken for granted is I feel like you're showing up for them, filling their cup, giving them what they need, being there for them, emotionally supporting them, maybe even like financially supporting them, whatever the case is. And then you're just like waiting for your cup to be filled. And it's almost like with this one up here that's kind of coming out, like if you will, like out of nowhere. It's like you're just hoping that like like a filled cup for you just appears. Because you're not filling your cup, you're filling their cup. They're feeling like they're filling their cup. So you're left with all of these empty cups. I've been reading, receiving messages more through imagery recently, and I really like it. Not all the time, but sometimes. All right, this person's energy toward Capricorn. I've read tarot for several years, and I've never really had many messages through imagery, but it's been more recent. I have had more. All right, this person's energy toward Capricorn. The devil. So what's this devil? Because this devil, I feel like, is what's keeping them from being able to fill your cup. What is this devil that Capricorn is dealing? I know that the devil is Capricorn energy, but this is different. What is this devil here that this person's dealing with? What is the devil that this person is dealing with? I mean, addiction is like the first thing that comes to mind, or like mental health or something. Yeah, okay. So there's some, so addiction, mental health, anything like that. Because then they have this Page of Swords, which I feel like is, it almost kind of feels like they have this expectation here and this connection for you to be like overly understanding of this devil. Like maybe even, oh, I'm so busy at work, I have a lot going on at work. Like priorities that aren't good for them can be something too, or like mental health. I don't know. It could be anything. So I don't want to get too specific on it. But it's like they expect you to be okay with this devil. I don't know what it is. It's part of the reason why they're not able to fill your cup. And I feel like maybe that's why you're ignoring the pain. You have this empathy you're trying to take on. It's like you're trying to take on their devil, whatever it is they're dealing with. But then on the flip side, I don't know if they're doing what it takes to work through this devil, to actually heal, find the source of the issue so that they don't continue to allow this devil to mess things up for them. This person's energy toward Capricorn. Interesting. This person's energy toward Capricorn, please. This person's energy toward Capricorn. There it is. The Ten of Cups and the Magician in reverse. They want this Ten of Cups with you. But the Magician in reverse is literally like, but they don't have the tools to be able to create it. They haven't done the healing. They don't have the emotional awareness or intelligence. They don't have the um, ability to do the inner growth. Like whatever it is, it's like they want this Ten of Cups with you. Like they want this with you. I mean, we've seen the Ten of Cups. We've seen the Ten of Cups in all three tarot decks we have so far. Both people in this connection want this like long-term potential that this connection has, but I just feel like they're not in a place, or there's something that keeps them from being capable of giving you what it is that you need and deserve here. Should take this one instead. Interesting. Okay. We are going to hop on over to the extended you of karmic with the 6 of Swords. I'm going to pull 9 different messages for this, and then I have an advice card to pull at the end. Thank you so much, Capricorn, as always, for your support of my channel. I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Capricorn, I wish you absolutely nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right. Bye, Capricorn.